What is going on, everyone? We are 5 days away from the Houston Texans playing the Baltimore Ravens. In week one, it will be the first time Houston Texans get to see head coach DeMeco Ryans and CJ Stroud play a meaningful football game. But the offensive line might be entirely different. With two starters out for sure and no idea what is going to happen with Titus Howard. We know that he was practicing today with the cast on. Is he going to be ready by week one? I don't know. We're going to go through this Houston Texans offensive line, the recent injuries, the recent pickups, and who could be potentially starting week one against the Baltimore Ravens. Welcome, everyone, to the 713 Houston Sportcast. I am your host, Ruben Calvillo. I drop daily Houston Texans content, so make sure you guys are following me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for the latest Houston Texans news, rumors, and updates. And if you are new here to the channel, welcome. Just hit 7K subscribers, trying to hit 10,000 by the end of the season. Please help me get there, and thank y'all so much for watching today's video. Now let's first start with the recent injuries on this Houston Texans offensive line, because man, there is a lot. This is from Aaron Wilson. Texans placed Juice Scruggs hamstring and Cameron Johnson calf on IR. Also signed Michael Dieter to the practice squad. Losing Juice Scruggs is a huge blow to this Houston Texans offensive line. Not only did you trade up for him, but he was getting majority of the first team reps all throughout training camp, was with the first team in all three preseason games. This is a huge blow to the Houston Texans offensive line. It is good to know that the Houston Texans brought back Michael Dieter to the practice squad. He started in front of Kenyon Green at left guard in the week 3 preseason matchup against the Saints. Played pretty good when he was out there. I'm glad that the Houston Texans brought him back. But losing your starting center, man, that is a huge blow. And it is a hamstring injury. Those things are lingering. Now we see a tweet from Adam Wexler. And this is Nick Caserio talking about Kenyon Green. Because as we all know, we lost Kenyon Green for the whole year. It was just a matter of when, not if, for Kenyon Green regarding surgery. GM Nick Caserio noted he was dealing with some things on a personal level too, said they knew in May this could be a possibility, and he may have re-injured the injury on Sunday. This is where I kind of get confused and frustrated with general manager Nick Caserio. If you knew there was a possibility that Kenyon Green could get injured again and you were just taking a chance, why not invest more into the offensive line? Continue to bring in free agents. Why didn't you draft one late in the draft if you knew that all the way in May this could have been a possibility? Dalton Risner, free agent left guard who played 900 snaps at left guard last year for the Denver Broncos, is still on the street. And if you don't think DeMeco Ryans can fix that type of attitude that Dalton Risner has, apparently he is a horrible teammate, then I'm sorry, DeMeco Ryans is not the head coach for this team if he cannot handle one player. Why didn't Nick Caserio continue to bring in competition throughout training camp if you knew this was a possibility? I don't get it. We have some news regarding our starting right tackle, Titus Howard. This is from Aaron Wilson. Although Howard practiced Monday while wearing a large cast on his surgically repaired left hand, he is regarded as a long shot to play in the game, and veteran lineman George Fant is expected to start at right tackle. According to league sources, Howard hasn't fully recovered from the injury and is still dealing with the swelling after breaking 2 bones in his hand during training camp, undergoing surgery, and having metal hardware inserted. It doesn't sound like we are going to have Titus Howard week 1 against the Baltimore Ravens. So the question is, who is going to be the starting offensive line week 1? Your starting left tackle was going to be Laremy Tunsil. No surprise there. Laremy Tunsil was also recently given the captain's patch, which he absolutely deserves. He's made it known he wants to be a Houston Texan, believes in the direction that we are going. believes in head coach DeMeco Ryans and rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud. I think Laremy Tunsil is going to have another Pro Bowl season and finally get his All-Pro nod. He was recently on the podcast with Ryan Clark. Go check that out. You start to see the vision that Laremy Tunsil believes in, and he said it himself. I want to hold up a Lombardi here in Houston. Laremy Tunsil is your starting left tackle. Your left guard is going to be Josh Jones, who the Houston Texans traded for from the Arizona Cardinals. Played college at the University of Houston, so coming home, maybe that does something for Josh Jones. He's played all over the offensive line with Arizona. He was a former third-round pick. You're throwing him into the fire, but Josh Jones is one of the players that I have the most confidence in regards to starting immediately week 1 against the Baltimore Ravens. It looks like your center is going to be Kendrick Green, who the Houston Texans traded for from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, Kendrick Green, he started his career as a center and blocked for Ben Roethlisberger's last year in Pittsburgh. This is his stats from 2021. He played 975 snaps, allowed 9 penalties, allowed 3 sacks. Overall was given a 52.4 grade, a 50.7 grade in pass blocking, and a 54.7 grade in run blocking. Not a very good rookie year for Kendrick Green. They then followed that up by having him a healthy scratch all in 2022. Was not played at all for some reason. This year during training camp, they had Kendrick Green line up at fullback. They had no faith in him making the 53-man roster. Why did the Houston Texans, or more importantly, Nick Caserio, trade a draft pick for Kendrick Green? But that is going to be your starting center. Your right guard is going to be Shaq Mason, who the Houston Texans traded for in the offseason. Has had a fantastic training camp, looked good when thrown out there in the preseason games. No issues or concerns about Shaq Mason. At right tackle, if it is not Titus Howard, like Aaron Wilson said, it will be George Fant, who the Houston Texans signed from the New York Jets. And there's not really a lot to say about George Fant. When he was out there, he'll have one good play. Then Jerry Hughes will put him on his ass 2 plays in a row. George Fant looked very iffy in the preseason. And, overall as a whole, I was confident in his offensive line. Then all these injuries happened. And the people who we chose to replace our starters, man, you have questions about every single one. Nonetheless, this will be your starting offensive line week 1 against the Baltimore Ravens. You guys let me know how y'all are feeling. I am not as confident as I was. You are also throwing out there rookie C.J. Stroud, man. How is that going to change for him being behind a very solid offensive line to offensive line needing 3 starters? You guys let me know. And for more Houston Texans content, come back for more. Go Houston. You guys have a very blessed day.